What's up, everyone? Hope all is well. This is March's book review. So I told you all that I would read 3 books for March, and I have read the 3 books. I'm actually going to try to read one more. I have about 4 or 5 more days to read one more. I'm not going to let you share. I won't share that book just in case I don't read it. I'll be able to read it for April. But anyway, so my 3 books that I told you I would read: Deep Waters, Sing to Me by L.A. Reid, and The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. So, like I told you all before, the Deep Waters, this is the author is my friend, a classmate, not classmate, she may be a year or two below me, I think. 2 years beneath me, but whatever. So she wrote this book. It was a really good read about her life. I would recommend this book to someone who has lost like a spouse or a very close family member, because this is about how she grieved and how she got through losing her husband at a very young age. It's a really, really good book. It's also biblical and very spiritually based, or biblically based. So if you or anyone you know is going through a very rough patch because of a death of a lost one, I think this is a really, really good book to read. It does have like almost like a workbook feel to it. So there are certain questions that she asks you, and you can journal while you're reading this. I didn't do all that because I haven't lost anyone, thank God, that is close to me. I'm not in the grieving process, but it still is a very, very great book in that it's still like a biography, but it's also like a self-help book. So it was a really good read. Like I told you, I started this in February, was not able to complete it in February, but I did complete it in March. I actually finished this book today, which is L.A. Reid, Sing to Me. It's about 20 chapters. It's a very short read. Honestly, you can read this in a couple of days. 20 chapters is about L.A. Reid, and L.A. Reid was a record, like a music executive, or is a music executive, because he's currently with Epic Records. So it's really a biography about his life, and specifically about him in the music business. And it's a really, really good book. While reading the books, I'm like, oh, he wrote that, oh, he produced that, oh. So like, Karen White, Bobby Brown, Outkast, TLC, those are the big ones that you know about. TLC, Outkast are the big ones. When he did La Face and Atlanta, those are the big ones. But I didn't know about Bobby Brown and Karen White, and those are my jams. The Tender Kisses album, yes. That is Don't Be Cruel, yes. Those are my jams. So I'm like, oh, this man is hot. And talks about his marriage to Pebbles. Talks about his relationship with Kenny, Babyface Edmonds. He talks about him being on X Factor. About those. He talks about, of course, the death of what's his name, Shakir Stewart, who committed suicide. He gives us, and what I like about this book is that he's not. I think he doesn't really hold. He seems like a type of man that, the less he knows, he's not somebody who kind of like inquires and tries to figure out everything or is nosy. It's just like whatever he needs to, he just knows whatever he needs to know. He asks whatever he needs to know and nothing else. So I think that he was very upfront with us as well. There's some times in the book where he talks about him and Pebbles' relationship, and I think it shows a part of him where he was saying he dated her when she was married. He was dating her, had sex with her when she was married. So I think that it was honest, and he wasn't trying to like come out like the good guy, which is really, really good. Even like Outkast breakup, he says that I really don't know why they broke up, and it was at a point where I felt uncomfortable being in a room in which Big Boy just found out that Andre had no intentions on extending a contract. He talks about Shakir Stewart, and how the day before he killed himself, what that conversation was like. And yeah, I just felt like it was honest. This isn't like I don't know, I didn't give it 5 stars because it's just, I don't know, it's just like It's a book about a music exec, and I think it serves its purpose in that he gives you the information that you need to know about the artist, about where he came from, and I think he's honest. I think it's a really good book if you're interested in, specifically also if you're interested in being in the music industry. I think this is cool to give you insight about what these people do, and he talks about his gift of like really being able to see talent and cultivate that talent, and also how he really grew into the man or the music executive that he is today, and that you see that path that he had to take. It's really, really good. It's a really good book, I think. Like I said, it wasn't my favorite read in the month of March. It wasn't my top favorite read, but it still is a good book. Out of 5, I give it 4 stars. Just because, like, I don't know. I'll give it 4.5, 5 stars. It's a good book. It was a good book. I think that the purpose was met to talk about him being in the music industry, and that's what it was. And it was written well as well, and it was honest. Now, the last book, or this was actually one of the first books that I completed, or second book that I completed, The Nightingale. This is my favorite, like, book, favorite nonfiction book. Yeah, like this favorite, hands down. Favorite. I cried and cried and cried and cried. I remember when I was the night that I finished it, I was just like crying. Crying and crying and crying and crying. And the next day when I spoke to my boyfriend, I was boo-hooing crying, and he was like, what happened? I was like, the book. But the book is just a beautiful story about love, of course, about, like your passion, about standing up for what is right, about civil rights, civil justice. It's just a really good heroic tale, and it's just beautifully written. Like, I'll tell you this, when I read the first couple of lines, I was like, oh, in love. Kristen is a poet. Like, the way that I'll just read a couple of lines to you. This is the first chapter. So it's April 9th, 1995, the Oregon coast. If I have learned anything in this long life of mine, it is this. In love, we find out who we want to be. In war, we find out who we are. Today's young people want to know everything about everyone. They think talking about a problem will solve it. I come from a quieter generation. We understand the value of forgetting, the lure of reinvention. Lately though, I find myself thinking about the war in my past, about the people I lost. It makes it sound as if I misplaced my loved ones. Perhaps I left them where they don't belong and then turned away, too confused to retrace my steps. They are not lost, nor are they in a better place. They are gone. As I approach the end of my years, I know that grief, like regret, settles into our DNA and remains forever a part of us. Like, that's what you're stepping into when you're reading The Nightingale. That is what you're stepping into. Like, these words are powerful. The way that she writes, I'm like, oh my God. Like I was deeply in a trance. Once I stepped in this book, I was in World War II. I was in France, okay? Like, I was in Paris. It was amazing. I was in the countryside. I knew Vian. I knew Isabelle. I knew, I knew the characters. Like, it is an awesome read. I don't want to give it out, but I wept. Literally, I cried for days. That's how powerful I feel like this book is. So, out of the 3 books that I read, the must read is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. All right, so stay tuned for April's reads, and then, I'll do a book review and everything else. I also want to inform you all that in April, I will be doing the Veda vlog every day in April, so I will be vlogging every day in April. And then, you guessed it, at the end of April, I will do, like, some type of giveaway So you just have to keep up with the vlogs. In April, I have 2 trips that I'm excited about. One, I'm going to Atlanta. My niece is running for Miss Spelman. Go, go, go. And the second trip is to Haiti. I haven't been in Haiti in over 20 years. So this is going to be a very emotional trip for me. It's not because I'm not going to see family. I'm going to a totally different part of Haiti. It's more of a historical trip, a like a sabbatical, I guess, for me. So yeah, I'm very excited about it. I'm already like preparing myself because I know I'm going to be extremely emotional about it. But I am excited, and I will, of course, have to vlog since I'm doing a vlog every day in April. I'm not sure. Maybe I will be, because I'll be like, I think I should be able to upload every single day while I'm in Haiti. So yeah, I can't wait for those 2 trips, and of course for me to do my reads in April. Still figuring out what those reads will be, but on April 1st, I will let you know. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.